Aloha. My name is Artari. I'm going to be making horseshoe crosses. I'm going to make them into necklaces, just like this. They're made with these nails. I got this brand, it's called Capewell. They come in different sizes. This particular nail that I'm using is the number 5 Capewell City Head. There's 2 types now. Make sure you get the City Head Capewell nails. And they come in a box of 100. You can find it at your animal feed stores or horseshoe suppliers. If not, you can go right on their website called Capewell. And it comes like this. And in this project, you're going to be needing 4 of these Capewell nails. And you see how one side is flat and the other side has like a little, how do you say, like a head on it. This is what you're going to be for suede. I like working with suede because it's a lot more flexible and softer on the skin. And the leather pieces are a little bit more stiff. You can get them in a variety of colors at your craft store using pliers. I have a whole bunch of different pliers that I'm using. I like ones with a big, wide point, and then one with a long nose plier. I have some wire cutters, or you can use scissors. There's another type of pliers I'm using. This is a curved nose plier. These are vice grips. You're going to need 2 of these. They come in larger sizes. I've got this at Harbor Freight, and they're not that expensive to get. The smaller, the better. It's so much easier to work with. You're going to notice that. Different varieties of craft wire. Some of these craft wires are, how do you say, German style type of non-tarnish wire. If you can get like silver wire, not silver plated, but silver or gold wire, you'll find that the crosses last a lot longer than some of these coated copper wires that you can get in your craft store. There's copper also, just copper by itself. I love working with these. You're going to use between 20 to 22 gauge wire. Personally I like 20 gauge, so it wraps a lot nicer. Okay, the next thing is getting a board to work with your crosses. Makes it a lot easier when you're bending your nails on a wood surface. And these, I got mending plates. This one, it's up to you. It makes it a lot easier when you're going to measure where your bend is. Yes, you're going to need a ruler as well. And then this is double-sided tape. And what I've done was, they come in a package of 4. And what I did is, instead of using the screws, I just used double-sided tape. And what I've done was, I have actually placed them on the board at the edge. What I did was I measured one of them to 1 5/16 with my ruler. Right there. So 1 5/16. And you're going to just, mark it. Mark your ruler first, and then place your double-sided tape on the back side of this, the more flush side, and just, set it right on top of that plate. And the other one I did was 3/4. So you're going to do one. This is for the larger end of the cross, and this is for the shorter end. So now that we've got all of our supplies together, now is the assembly of this cross. The colors that I'm going to be using copper and gold today. And these are the nails. So 2 of the nails will be for the longer part of the cross, and 2 will be, so as I mentioned, you're measuring it, and we're going to go with the 1 5/16. And then this one, you want to use the pliers that has a big, wide point. And what you're going to do is you're going to get your nail, you're going to place it onto your board. You're going to go at the end of this, make sure it lines up. Probably easier to do it at the edge of a table. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to simply push this down. I'm going to try to get it so that you can see it. Push and fold. You want to get the bend so that it's straight like that. See it? So you're going to get 2 of these. Make sure you do 2. Make sure you get the right dimensions, right measurements, or else it's going to be off. So I've done that. Push, use your arms, and it's going to be like that. If it kind of bends towards you, you can kind of push it back a little, like that. So now the next one is you're going to get the other nails for the 3/4. You're going to line it up. There you go. This one, it takes a lot more of your arms, a lot more strength, so you're going to have to get in, make sure you have a good work surface, and push. Use all your muscles. You have 2 of those you're going to make, just like that. 1, 2. Make sure it's in the center. So, like if it bends like that, you can just work it back out. Like that. You want to make sure it is like an L. Okay? Okay, so the next step is a little bit difficult too as well. So this is going to be the one that you had, the 1 5/16 on the bottom, like this. These are for your top, but we're not quite finished with the top yet. This is tricky, so you have to pay attention when you're bending your wire. Doesn't look like much like a cross yet. But what you're going to do is one side, you're going to fold kind of like, see right here, this is going to hold your cording together. So on your pliers, like if you have grooves, I like to count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I make sure I go like that with the groove 5, and you're just going to hold it and fold this way, and you see how that bent that way. Make sure it's like that. The next one you're going to do again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and you're gonna hold it like that, and you're gonna bend again. So it's gonna look like that. See that right there? And then with your other pliers, or you can use this pliers too, you're gonna kind of gently press down like that. You don't want to press it too hard, else it will break. And you press it until it makes a shape like that. Let me do it again for you folks. But this time, because it's on that end, you're going to make sure your fold is on the opposite direction. I mean, going towards this head here. Always make sure this point goes to this head. So 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. And make sure it's lined up up there. Fold. See that? Then you're going to do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. bend. Looks just like that. Then you're going to get your pliers again. Kind of at the tip right here, over here. You're going to fold it. Work gently. Oh, make sure you don't bend it. I mean, break it. See how we got that? Nice little bend. So that's the top of your crosses. And this is the bottom. It might look a little bit not straight here yet. Okay, so now we're going to work on the wrapping of the crosses. I'm going to place this here on the side. I would not give up on the first try. The first try, second try might be difficult, so you might be wasting a little bit of your nails for the first time. And because it's your first time, I would make your wire pieces a little bit longer on the first try. But on what you're going to do is going to be needing an 18-piece wire. So for you, starters, start with 20 just to be sure. So for me, I'm going to just use 18. Use a wire cutter. That's one of them. And the second one will be larger. So you're going to be using, and this keep in mind that this length is for like a one color type of wire. You're going to find that it's going to be like with the bigger piece wires, you're going to need less, but just play with it first. Here's 18. This next one, you're going to do 28 inches for the second one. This one we're going to be using it later for the ends. Okay, so I got the 18 and the 28 length copper wire here. Then the next thing is we're going to be using these vice grips. You're going to make sure that you're setting the right distance so that when you grip it, it's holding in place. Because if it's too wide, it won't hold it together. So kind of get your piece. This is what it's gonna look like that. And that was a good. I've already presetted my vice grip, and that's gonna lock it in place. You can do that with the other side now. So like this, I'll show you, for instance, this one is not going to grip because I can tell that the settings is off. See, it just kind of falls off. So when you open it up, you're going to make it smaller. Now let's see if this works. There you go. We're going to start with the smaller side, the smaller wire. And this one I'm going to wrap. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave about that much of on my vice grip. I would say about 3 inches. What you're going to do is you're going to hold it down. You pull it. Make sure you hold it. Hold your wire like that. And you're going to wrap. And you're going to wrap tightly. Count the amount of wire that you're wrapping. So right now we did 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, make sure it's tight, 9, there's 9. So make sure when you do that, you're going to do it with the same with the other side. So this is the larger side. Do about 3 inches again. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So what you're going to do is unclamp it. With the breast, you're going to go 1, 2. So with that end, those 2 wraps. You want to leave, if you're going to do one color, you want to get the wire all the way to the end. Okay, but then in this situation, we're going to do 2 different colors, like that. So you're going to have extra piece of wire. You're going to, right in the middle, you're going to just snip it off, like that. And then with your needle, your craft needle nose pliers, curved one, you're just going to crunch it down, like that. So that it doesn't poke anyone. See how that is? Hopefully it's not out of focus. You're going to do that with the other side as well. So unlock it. Use this little lever here. Like that. It's open. And you're going to do that again. 1 and 2. Okay, so I'm going to snip it. If the wire kind of moves apart a little, once you get your other wire, it should kind of gather up better for you. So use that to pinch it. So like I said, it's 11 wraps around the side of the cross. This is another tricky part. So we might have to change our settings a little bit more because these wires are pretty thick compared to the other 2. So we're gonna, I like to start with the bottom one first to keep it in place. Like that. Make sure your wires are kind of to their side. And you're just going to grip it like that. If it's too loose, adjust it a little bit more to a smaller setting with smaller width, and just grab on and hold. This is now next is the other side. Okay, so the vise is on. Make sure this one's a little bit off. This better. Make sure it's important to align this part though of the cross. Okay. Next thing, this is kind of, you're gonna have to kind of pay attention to this part right here. It's a little tricky. With this side, you're going to wrap it on one side like that. It's going to make a cross in the middle. This side, you're going to wrap underneath this way, so that way it looks just like this side from the other end. Okay. Next is this one is going to go over like that. This one at the other side, make sure that the cross, there'll be a cross on the other side. So you're going to wrap the wire down like that. So there's, see the cross over there? Okay. So next thing is one side is the shorter side, and the bottom one is going to be the longer side. Make sure that this wire is on the bottom and this side is on the top. So you're just going to now wrap your wire, wrap your wire, wrap your wire. Not really all the way down, because in this situation we're going to be using 2 different colors. A lot of people like to shellac their crosses. because sometimes there's places that have a lot of humidity, and it might tarnish the nails and even the wire, depending on the type of craft wire you're using. But they like to dip it in like a varnish, if you want to use a varnish, or spray like some kind of, like either a glossy, I would use a glossy shellac. Just let it air out and dry. And it also keeps it, I mean, the wires are pretty good where it keeps it in place, but if you want it to last longer, you just use it in shellac. So when you get to the edge of the vice grips, you're gonna just take that out, and you're gonna scoot it up a little. Make sure it's tightly wrapped around. And for this one, if you're gonna do the whole thing, you wrap it all the way. But for this one, I'm just gonna wrap up to here. Then I'm just going to use a wire cutter. Make sure it's in the, kind of towards the middle part. Like that. And it's already flattened down. There you go. And if it bunches up a little, just use your pliers and just work it. Next one, we're going to wrap around one time. One or maybe two. Two is better. That keeps it in place. And then now you can just release the other vice grip and just wrap. This one I'm going to add up to here. Just match up to that side. Make sure all your little points, you know, the ending all goes in the back part, all consistent. And if it goes a little bit to the edge, just snip off a little bit and then press down. Sometimes I notice with working with some craft wires, the film comes off. So if you can get one of those pliers with like some of those rubber things at the end, it should from the paint coming off. Okay, so the next thing is getting some wire here. I like to keep it on here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of meet up with this, leave a little bit at the end. This also keeps it from like wasting wire. And you're just going to wrap it. Make sure you hold it down. Wrap and wrap. Like that. This end, keep that end on and just wrap until it gets flush to the other wire, such as that. At the end of the wire, just snip it and let it flush onto the wire there. Next thing I like to do is start with this end. You just wrap. Wrap tightly now. Just like that. Okay, this side. Now you get your wire cutter clip. Last is the arms. And if it gets kind of wound up, open it up, your wire, so that you have some room to wrap. Okay. do the arms. If you feel comfortable to make this piece longer, I would do so. So you wrap this just like that. Do the same thing last right here. Easy peasy. Wrap this. Extra snippet. And this is where you can begin to kind of fixing your cross, making it straighter. You can grab onto this and make it adjust a little bit more. If you have to use another pliers to smash it down a little, do so. Get your piece of suede next. And depending on the length of the person's neck is how you're going to determine that. So 30 inches, 30. And cut it with your wire cutter or scissors. I got these from Tandy Leather, and hopefully you have one in your area. Or what I love, they're not sponsoring me at all, nor is Capewell, but these are really good companies to get your supplies from. And if you don't have one and you don't want to pay online, then just go to a craft store and get some leather. So what you're going to do is you are going to string this on your little hooks right there. And you see how this is right here? You're going to pull this in here like so, and just pull. You can use these not just for a necklace. If you're allergic to nickel or copper, whatever metals, you can use them on your purse. You can make the cord shorter. You can also put it on your, on your rear view mirror. You can make it as a keychain. And then next I'm going to just, at the end, try to fit it over your head first before you do it. And you're just tying it into a knot like that. And you can snip off whatever you want the rest at the end, like that. And that's your cross. So, like I said, you can make it in different styles, different colors, like that. You can just make it solid, like that. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, you can comment on the bottom of my page, and I can get back to you and answer them accordingly. Please subscribe to my channel. I do a lot of videos on a lot of my art, time-lapse tutorials of my drawings. I make all my music that you hear is mine, so you can find it on SoundCloud under Artari, or over here. There's also my boyfriend's music as well. His name is Muvma. You can also find some of my recipes and my other crafts, and some of my travel vlogs. I like to encourage those who are suffering from fibromyalgia and Lyme disease and any other painful disease like MS to just focus on getting yourself better through art and just creating, because I don't know, for me, I'm a child of God, and I believe that He can heal us, and He offers these type of things to distract us as therapy to get, to win over these diseases. Also encourage, you know, with exercise and proper diet, but art for me has always been one way to help me deal with these pains that I live with daily. I hope you like this video, and click like and share, and stay tuned for other videos that will come up with. Aloha!